So, yeah, this is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. The WNBA, WNBPA, it is so very clear that the WNBPA are split. Like, they could not make it more clear. They could not make it more clear that the WNBPA are completely split. Like, not even a little bit split. Completely split. Because we all know, like, obviously, when it comes down to it, like, they're screwed if they strike. And Kelsey Plum has basically said a strike is the worst possible thing for both sides. Basically, like, look, a strike, we're fucked if we strike. So we're not, like, basically implying that they're not going to strike. But then all of a sudden, Alicia Clark, someone says, watching everything came out, it sounds like a strike is essentially off the table for the players, which, by the way, yes, it sounded like it is. Alicia Clark, this is not accurate. A strike is very much still on the table. Hi, AC. I think it's super important for fans to see. Definitely not necessarily this as facts, just relaying a sense that I got. Everyone's not unrivaled and taking in all the headlines. Yeah, no worries. I know your report, so just want to add some clarity. Players expressing personal opinions of not loving the idea of a strike versus being taken off the table are very different. I know some of the other interviews I've watched also said we're prepared and have been preparing should one be called. Appreciate you always. And by the way, this is now at the stage where it's like, technically it's still on the table. Like, they can strike. They absolutely can strike. Will they strike? Fuck no. Like, if we're gonna be honest, fuck no. They're not striking. They're not, like, again, unless they're willing to burn down, like, could you imagine if, like, look, the strike, we all know that if there's a strike and it lasts more than a couple of weeks or a couple of months and there's, like, and then they go into, they're like, oh, you know, we'll have a 2027 season. You know what? We'll actually get what we want in 2027 after our owners have all burned a collective $100 million for a season that didn't happen. No, that's not happening. They'll offer less. Like, this 5.75 million salary cap, whatever they're offering. I do think the players can get a lot more than that. But they're not going to offer that again next year. And then they're going to take the revenue split off the table. Like, they're going to take it. They're going to screw them. And then the players are going to say no, and there won't be a league. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, I think we all kind of understand when it comes down to it. We all understand that it is like a strike that takes away the season. Basically ends the league. There's no scenario where the players get paid more if they miss a season from a strike. The league's done. If the season doesn't happen, there won't be a league. The only, like, we've actually heard people very much concerned. Players have come out and said, like, was it Kelsey Mitchell? She was saying, she was like, what you hope for next season? She was like, well, I hope there's still a league. Like, there are players that understand it. Like, people that genuinely know about running teams have said, if they can't come to a CBA agreement, it's because of the entire structure based on the revenue structure. It's because of the overall structure of the league. And when it comes down to it, like, that's going to be and with the overall structure of the league can't be changed. So if they're never going to get to a swap because of the structure of the league, the league's just going to be over. But obviously here, key answer Breanna Steward gives some context. Players being told 2 years ago, yeah, you do realize like 50% of the league. I can guarantee you that about 40% of the league that will be in the 2026 season, in fact, will not have been in the league 2 years ago. Is the old heads on strike? They want their money now, forget the future. I mean this, yeah. Like it's very clear. Alicia Clark, the party ended an hour ago. I'm still here. And this is the funniest thing. Oh yeah, AC, celebrate, we bring a strike. These people don't like basketball. And I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about these pretend fans. They don't like anyone that's out here like celebrating, being like, yeah, strike. They don't like basketball. They actually don't like basketball because, again, we know it's either the players sign a really good deal. Like, the players, right? If the players sign with the way the deal is right now, if I was to rate the current deal out of 10, and they're not going to sign the current deal. Let's say the current deal the WNBA offered is a 6 out of 10. With the players, what the players have countered is still at a 10 out of 10. Like, it's still unrealistically high, what the players have offered. So like, even if you come down, it's a it's a fucking same net revenue, 7 million salary cap. You're still looking at like a 7 out of 10 CBA, which is fucking good considering the fact the league has only even been close to being profitable for 2 years. The league has only shot up for 2 years. When you've got only a 2-year sample size, and if you're able to get that type of CBA, it's incredible. But they're celebrating not playing basketball. They're striking because a strike ends it all, and at the end of the day, they can be perpetual damn fucking victims for this shit instead of basketball players, because that's the thing. That's what they just want to promote. Are they going to strike or not? No. People are so quick to curse about Weir's fans. They're not going to strike. Finally, something good to hear. These people don't like basketball. Like, I mean this when I say this. The players striking ends the league. It is bad for the future, the present, and everything in the WNBA. Do you want to know what it is good for? It is good for the people that are only fans of these players and these weird parasocial relationships that don't watch the sport of basketball, so that they can pretend to be woke supporting these players as individuals, but don't even take the time to watch them play the sport. They don't take the time to generate any revenue for the players. They don't take the time to put eyes on the players. They don't buy merch for these players. They don't. These people, because they think that being a fan of the WNBA was their fan club, that they could be perpetual victims and never even watch the games based on the viewership numbers. They didn't watch the fucking games. Like, that is a fact. And by the way, I have nothing against Alicia Clark. Keeping a strike on the table gives the players more leverage, albeit we've got 7 days to go. So at this stage, everybody knows you're not going to strike. We know that. So like, having this thing in your back pocket being like, oh, look, we can strike whenever. This is our leverage. Like, everyone knows you're not going to strike, and that's fine. You don't have to strike. We can come to an agreement, or you can come to an agreement, spend the next week doing whatever the fuck you can to make as much money as possible, and then get the season going. Because at the end of the day, it's a big thing. But I'm glad she clarified. This is hopeful, even though Plums. This is hopeful. This is my favorite thing. This is hopeful. Oh, we still might strike. Yeah, strike. I'm like, you don't give a fuck about basketball. Let's be real. And the funniest thing is that a lot of these players think that those fans are the ones that actually give a fuck about their interest. And by the way, I just want to watch basketball. I'm not some like big player that cares about the interest. I just like watching the WNBA, and I will like the fact that I might be able to cover this league for years and years and years in the future and keep watching these players, keep pumping money into this. And the more, like, if I still keep doing well, I can go over watching future prospects. I can keep covering this league in a way that will improve year on year on year the longer this goes on. And I'm excited for that. I am, because I like basketball. Like, that all ends and I just go back to making NBA shit and 2K shit. Like, if this all ends, and it is what it is. But like, these fans that are pushing the players to strike don't care about the players. They care about this weird moral high ground that they get because they feel like they can support the players. They wanted to go back to this parasocial relationship where nobody's watching women's basketball anymore, and they can claim to be perpetual victims and have weird online like parasocial relationships with players, with them responding to you, jumping in their spaces. It's all weird. And at the end of the day, anyone who is pushing for the players to strike, rather than, in fairness, if you're saying keep the strike in your back pocket, it's leverage. Then that's fine. And I have no issue with anybody that's out there saying the players should push for everything they can get. But all the fans that are celebrating the fact that they might strike don't care about basketball, nor do they care about any of these players, nor do they care about the future players. Because again, the outcome of a strike long term is, see the 15 WNBA teams by 3 rounds. See the 45 players being drafted into the WNBA. Maybe 4 of them go to Unrivaled. Another 6 of them go overseas, because after maybe 10 or 12, there's no point for them to go overseas. Like, why would you go to Greece to play for $28,000 a year when there's no prospect of coming back to play in the WNBA? Go work an office job. Like, they're done. Like, there's nothing for them. And it's not just this year. There's just nothing for them in general because the WNBA is not going to exist. But it's all good, though, because Unrivaled, which is booming currently off the WNBA, is killing it, which it is. But when the WNBA goes, Unrivaled's going to go quick. Like, I don't even realize, like, no offense to Unrivaled, it's kind of shit. It is kind of shit. There's a reason why people aren't watching it on TV. Yes, if it's coming to your city, heck, if it came to Dublin, I'd be there. If it's coming to your city and it's a traveling show, yeah, it's good as a novelty. And I think they need to keep using it as a traveling show, using gate revenue to keep it alive. And I do think that they can succeed in that manner. That is a much better thing than keeping it in Miami, making a summer camp. Turning it into a traveling show is absolutely a better idea. And I think they're onto something. I think that's how you keep Unrivaled alive long term, because as a TV spectator league, it's fucking garbage. And I've watched every single game of Unrivaled, and I can tell you that it is garbage. So you've got that. Like, there's what? And Unrivaled is not going. Like, there's about 10 college players that already come in. Unrivaled's not going to expand past them. Like, Unrivaled's not going to expand super highly on top of the players that it currently has. Like, Unrivaled's not going to expand past 50 players. Project B is the biggest bullshit gimmick ever. Project B is literally like a traveling show, but they think going to fucking Japan, they can sell out stadiums. No, this is Tech Bro's idea. This is a tech bro that probably got really high. I know that's just a joke right there. But it's like a tech bro that was just sitting there watching like Formula One and tennis and being like, oh man, these tennis players, they travel from like place to place to play in opens. What if we did that with basketball? It's like, well, you can't get the players in basketball. They all have exclusivity with the NBA. It's like, what about women's basketball? Let's get them then. And let's pay a couple of million. Let's just get a bunch of money. We can all just risk 50 million. Let's just pay dumb money for wages for the first year. But yeah, anyway, that is pretty much it, lads. See you guys.